Hi, we're back with part 2, and I notice my voice is back. Every once in a while I have my voice, and then it comes and goes. I lost it a few years ago on a plane. I was coming back from doing a film in Cleveland, and I got off the plane, I had no voice.
Oh, wow.
That's
not a good thing.
No, it wasn't a good thing. Anyway, for part 2, this is The Method Actor Speaks. I'm your host, John Solari, and we're back with director, say your name?
Chandra Gerson.
Chandra.
Yeah,
I got it.
Chandra.
Chandra.
There you go.
I learned how to speak the best listening to Nat King Cole records.
Mm-hmm.
He
Really?
opens his mouth.
Yeah. Wow.
For pronunciation.
Yeah, there you go.
And if you overdo it, eventually it comes down to being correct.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I used to get a lot of girls in the bar in the Bronx that way, and I go, right. I used to love that. I don't know why.
You are too much.
I said, right. I love it. In my youth. Anyway, in part 1, we were talking, just getting it, it was really getting good. Because we were talking about the downfall of this business and what it really needs. And it does. I mean, the casting is not casting anymore. It's all package deals.
Right.
And this and that. The days of Marion Doherty are gone, where they would look at your talent. Joanna Ray was my casting director out here, who I owe my career to, who believed in me. She said, even if I didn't get the part, she would have me back.
Right.
You know, they see something in you and they know you can do the work.
Exactly.
And that's something that's not being done, is the work.
Yeah.
You know, I met a member of the Actors Studio, and I have a friend, Salome Jens, who's one of my idols. And, you know, I asked her, how do you do that? She said, I do the work.
Yeah.
Which is a dying art. I mean, today we have so many actors out there who want to be movie stars and not actors. You know, I told you in the earlier show about the group theater. I guess it's American Masters. Anyone out there, go on Google. I guess it's still on there somewhere. And it was great when they started it. And one of the founding members, I mean, people who was going to be with it was Katharine Hepburn. She was one of the greatest actresses that ever lived. And she blew all their minds when she says, no, I don't want to be an actor. I want to be a movie star. And she went on to become this, you know, I mean, there's very few that can say that and really do it.
Yeah.
But it was a wonderful moment to watch her do that, because, I mean, who's better than her and Betty Davis?
Yeah.
You know?
No.
I mean, I watch, if they're in a movie, I want to watch it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, who's some of your favorites?
Oh, God.
Who are the people that you looked up to that really inspired you?
Well, that's kind of a tough question, because I really, really admire, as actors, I really admire Christian Bale.
Oh, wonderful British actor, again, coming from...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp is one of the few
Yeah.
that it really lets it go.
Yeah.
Talk about the feminine side,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. He's not afraid. He's fearless.
Fearless.
Yeah. And speaking of fearless, Heath Ledger was amazing. It's really kind of sad. I think he would have been, you know, had one hell of a career.
Like James Dean.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So, and for directing purposes, probably one of my favorite directors is, and I talked about him before, was Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
And did you go back to the older time directors, or even, you know, a little modern? You know, people like Mark Rydell, who's, you know, president of the Actors Studio, and he's there. I always listen to him and Marty Ritt, and he passed away. Sidney Pollack. When I auditioned, it was Sidney Pollack, Martin Landau, and Mark Rydell were my judges. And I passed. But I was Neil Simon in the first one we were talking about with the comedy writer. You know, his stuff is so funny.
Right.
It's there, but the
goodbye-
actors still, they try to play it, and it doesn't work.
You didn't think The Goodbye Girl was good?
I thought it was good when I'm saying, when they play the comedy, it doesn't work.
Oh,
As we were
yeah,
talking about.
as we were,
You
yeah.
have to play it serious.
Yeah, yeah,
And, it's like playing a drunk, you gotta not be drunk.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Not be stupid and sloppy and all over the
Right.
place,
And,
yeah.
and I see that,
Mhm.
when I see that in them little things. I don't know if you've seen the movie Nebraska.
No, I haven't seen it
It's
yet.
great. Now, there's an independent movie.
Yeah.
And it was out, but it was wonderful. It was the lady that played Bruce Stern, his wife.
Mhm.
She did a little thing in the room that was off camera
Mhm.
when he was talking about the first time
Mhm.
that he was in this room by himself, and you could see in her eyes she was startled.
Oh,
And I said, wow, she's doing the work,
right.
you know.
Yeah.
And it's so nice to see that.
Mhm.
When you see them little things that people do.
Right.
And you as a director, I mean, isn't this, what do you look for those moments?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I try to get my actors to get there. That's why I love working from the inside out, because if there's no connection to the material, and you're just playing, you're play acting
You're
rather
play
than actually feeling something
You're right.
and connecting.
You have to.
You know.
If you don't believe it, I don't believe it.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
And it's, if I were this character, what would I do?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so many, I remember when I was teaching acting, I said, now you can go home.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, because that's what acting is all about.
Yeah.
Technique and everything is all for when you're stuck. You know, you have to use emotional memory, and it's like, because you don't know where to go.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's in the writing and it takes you there,
Right.
and that's the wonderful thing. I always found, people sometimes get mad at me. I mean, and they think they got to go through all this drama to prepare, and I hear them doing these things,
Yeah.
and I'm just do it.
Right.
Just do it.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean.
Because when I hear people doing that, all I'm thinking is they're indicating.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to let you know, I'm a method actor, or I'm an actor, or whatever, I'm going over there, watch.
Well, to play devil's advocate, I understand what you're saying, and to a certain extent, I believe, I totally get what you're saying. But sometimes when there's nerves or whatever's going on inside of a person, sometimes they need to let that go to get there. Whether it's nerves or it's just tension or whatever. And believe me, I understand 100% what you're talking about, because I've been there, and I've been like, what the hell is going on? Looking around going, why are we doing this? Or whatever. But I find that usually, like filming Burning Distortion,
Okay.
I had some of my actors a couple times scream out towards the ocean, because I just felt that there was something that, whether it was a wall or whether there was something that was blocking or whatever, and just let it go. It's like, I can't explain what happened, but then all of a sudden they were there
They're there.
after screaming.
So they couldn't get there, so you made them scream.
Yeah, I just said, release, yeah. And sometimes it works, I mean, I don't think any technique is wrong, because there's always something that's going to work for somebody.
Right.
So I think it's presumptuous to say that, well, oh, that technique is bullshit or whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? But I think they have a purpose, but at times, I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying.
No, you do. You know exactly. You're making a lot of sense there.
I just, I think it has its place, is basically what I'm trying to say.
You're right. You're 100% right. It does have its place. I've had people that because the show is called A Method Actor Speaks, they tell me,
Right.
well, I'm not a method, you are a method actor. Your method is your method.
Right, exactly.
That's what method acting is. I mean,
Yeah.
outside the method acting, the word comes from Marlon Brando mumbling.
Yeah.
That's where it comes from.
Yeah.
And they showed a tape of, I think it was, I forgot his name, but he was impersonating, nobody could understand a word he was saying.
Right.
Because he was, I mean, and that got the method, was called the method,
Right.
because Marlon Brando mumbled and nobody knew what he was doing. And he didn't know what he was doing. That's, a lot of times you do that.
Yeah.
You mumble.
Yeah.
The greatest thing was Spencer Tracy, one of the greatest actors that ever lived. I mean, he used to love to look down, and people found out one day he was looking down because he was looking for his marks. Most of his acting was down here,
Yeah.
you know, and he would stand there and talk to people, but he was looking for his marks.
Right. It's wild.
I mean, people it's like when you talk about emotional memory, it's not.
Right.
The audience doesn't know that you're thinking about, I have to be happy. They don't think I'm thinking about, I saw this asshole the other day.
Yeah, exactly.
Or that one behind the camera, smack him in the mouth. The audience doesn't know.
No, they don't.
And one of the strongest emotions that I found is not doing nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so powerful.
Yeah.
If you watch real good acting, when people move around, you wonder why are they moving?
Wow.
And it takes you right out of the concentration of what they were
Right.
doing.
Yeah.
Right out of the scene, sometimes.
Well, I think sometimes people get caught up, like people behind the scenes, whether it's directors or writers or producers or whoever's, calling the shots for that movement. Sometimes I think people are afraid that if they're just sitting and talking, it becomes talking heads. So there's got to be some kind of movement. And I agree with you. I think if the acting is good and the words are good and the script is good and the editing is good, what seems like it could have been talking heads is brilliant film.
It really is.
I mean, I just, and that's why I always pride myself on thinking of everybody as a team. We're all a team. It's not my film, it's our film. Because I wouldn't have been able to do any of the work that I've done without my actors, without my editors, without my cameramen and grips and all that kind of stuff, And that's why I'm open to, any kind of suggestions from my actors as well as my crew. I think, yeah, it's important for a director to have a vision. But I think it's also important to be open. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, look at casting. Like for example, a perfect example is like the Cosby Show. From what I heard, Rudy, the little girl, was supposed to be a little boy, but casting brought in a little girl because she was so cute. And they ended up casting her, and the little boy became the little girl, So it's like, no, it's no different. It's, you never know what's going to come and what's going to make it better.
You have to be open. And again, goes back to what I told you, it's called breaking the rules.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Which is, simple thing, remember, I tell all actors that when you go to audition, remember, break the rules.
Yeah.
You sit outside an audition and you hear everybody screaming.
Yeah.
When it comes to playing anger.
Oh God, I hate that.
Yeah, and you should hate it because they're not going to Salome.
It's so obvious. It's such the obvious choice.
It is.
Yeah.
And Salome, my friend Salome Jens told me, why do you have to shout? Or why do you have to?
Right.
Anger could be very quiet.
Very quiet rage.
Did you ever see the movie The Pawnbroker? Rod Steiger. All right, watch it. So if you ever get a chance, in it, he screams, but there's no sound.
Oh, wow.
And to me, it was the loudest scream I ever heard.
Yeah.
You see, oh! and Charlie Deercop, another member of the Actors Studio, was in that.
Right.
And he told me, he asked Ron, what were you thinking?
Right.
And he told me I was thinking about my daughter being raped.
Oh God. Wow.
And there was no sound.
That's heavy.
And if you see it, I mean, it's worth just that scene alone.
Yeah.
For nothing.
The pawnbroker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rod Steiger,
Okay.
who loved to make noise. Very loud actor.
Yeah.
Really. Over the, one of the greatest actors. I mean, but he was, I mean, he really was a great actor.
Yeah.
But that's, I mean, you talk about, I even loved it when he played a gay. I forgot the name of the movie he did. But I mean, that's what it's all about, that breaking the rules and going for it. And when you hear them people scream and this and that, I had an audition and I did a movie called The Girl Gets More with Tony Danza and Michael Madsen. And Michael Madsen was I was supposed to be afraid of him in the audition. When I went in and I wasn't afraid of him. Right. I did the total opposite. And I got the part.
There you go. You never know. Yeah.
What I'm saying is, everybody's getting afraid of him. What am I afraid? I ain't afraid of this guy. If this was me, would I be afraid of him? I wasn't. So I just played it that way.
Right. No, I tell actors all the time, you never know, when you audition, you need to not worry so much what they're looking for and just be you, because you may bring something to the table that they never expected.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, they know who I always tell actors, and you're a director and you've been in a lot of casting, they know who, say the Rainmaker, right? They know who the Rainmaker is. They know who he is, Starbuck is. Right. But they want to know who John Solari is. Right. If he was Starbuck, right, how would he do it? Right. And that's because they already know the character. Yeah. When we have a few minutes, I want to talk to you about casting. Yeah. How do you use a casting director or do it yourself or?
Well, over the years that I've been doing this, because I started in 2009, I was fortunate enough to meet an agent as well as a manager, and Tyler Brown from Kindred Talent Management. She has helped me a lot. I got to audition a lot of her roster. Her clients, yeah.
Good for her.
And so she kind of pretty much helped me with that. So
what's her name?
Her name is Tyler Brown. She's
Tyler, I'm looking.
From Kindred Talent.
I'm looking. Actually, you need a manager today. And my agent, Craig Wyckoff, Rabbi Wyckoff now, and that's what he is now. He's a rabbi, so I'm without an agent, and I'm looking around. So if she's interested, I would love to have him come on if she would like to.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
I'm always interested in having the other side.
Right.
Casting directors and agents.
Right.
It's not to come on to really talk about it because people want to know what they look for. Right. And what do you look for when you're casting? What do you look for in actors? Let me just check this time. Okay. Coming up a little close. Oh, sorry about that, folks. So we have time. This show is not scripted. It's not edited. You talk about real. I don't talk before we come on.
No.
Because whatever comes out
Fly
comes
by
out.
the seat of our pants.
That's what we have to do, really. It's an improv movie.
There you go.
But now, what do you do and look for when you're casting actors?
It's really hard because when I'm writing, I don't picture faces.
That's interesting.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't try to envision a particular person. So I see, like when I'm writing, I see black figures. So I just see like shapes or whatever, and that's it. I don't really have anybody in mind or whatever because I try to keep myself as open as possible. And I really look for, one of the really big things for me is talent to move me. you know, and and that's what always used to piss me off about when I was trying to act, you know, is that you had to look a certain way. You had to be thin, you know, or if you had weight on you, you had to be charactery looking, or, you know, whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's kind of shifting now, you know, but it's still, you know, pretty much the same. And it was always more about the look rather than, you know, the talent. And when I started getting behind the scenes, I have to admit that I began to understand.
Yeah.
I did understand, because there were times when a certain look was called for, and I was like, oh man, you know.
Here I am doing what I hate.
Exactly what I hated, you know. But in the long run, basically what it really comes down to is I just want to be moved, you know, and and it's amazing, like I said, in the, you know, when we first started, how much undiscovered talent there is out there. And I just wish that, you know, the big wigs and, you know, agents and managers and stuff.
That'll never come.
I know, it's sad, and
you
I
have
understand.
to do it. You have to do it in your films.
Yeah.
And we, the actors, and that's why everybody has to do.
Right.
You have to go out and do it.
Yeah.
If you ever look at the British and European films, especially Italian films, it's like the people look real.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see in America, you have a 16-year-old playing a police lieutenant.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I hear ya.
They're afraid to put somebody over 40, you know, as chief of police. You got to be at least 25.
No.
I mean, this is what it is out there.
Yeah.
So when you're saying the look, I mean, there's certain types of look, but if you can just, like, you know, if you could just break the rules there and just say, listen, I'm gonna, it'd be, to you as an actor, and your films will be noticed, because I just did you'll see it on my page. You know, I do casting too. I mean, not casting. Or, you know, for casting directors, sometimes I'll videotape people.
Oh, okay.
And gotcha. I did it sideways at the beginning, so when they're so used to seeing the shot this
vertical?
way.
Oh, wow.
Horizontal when it opens up.
Right, exactly.
Oh, you don't look at that.
Yeah, exactly. That's strange.
You'll see it.
Yeah.
Well, if you go on, it's on YouTube or on Facebook. And, but I mean, the scene is done right.
Right.
But you do it. It's called breaking the rules. I mean, and you seem like someone who's doing that, wants to do that, but I also get a feeling, you know, I can hear you want to make money too.
Well, I mean, it'd be nice to, okay, let's put it this way. I think it's innate for everybody, when you're really passionate about something, I think it's innate that you want to succeed and you want to be recognized and you want to be successful. I think, you know, that's just natural. But also you have to be grounded because of this business. So do I want to be a working director? Hell yeah, I do.
Well, you will.
You know, I'm not going to lie. I would love to be able to make a living doing this, you know. And I don't have to be the next Steven Spielberg or, you know, Martin Scorsese. Do I want to? Do I fantasize about it? Hell yeah, I'm not going to lie. You know, I think, like I said before, I think everybody, when you're really passionate about something, I think everybody does that. But, so, yeah, I'm not going to sit here and lie. A part of it is I have bills.
Lie. In this business, you got to lie. Do I ride a horse? Yeah. I rode the subway in New York. You got to lie.
So yeah, money is a part of it. I mean, you know, am I passionate about it? Do I want to do this? Yes, but I want to be able to make a living doing it too.
Well, I think I got a funny feeling you go a long way.
I hope so.
And I really do. And I want to thank you for coming on.
Thank you for inviting me.
No, I mean, it was a pleasure. I mean, you come back anytime you want.
Okay.
I really, I
thanks.
mean that. Like, if you want to come back with some of the cast.
Okay, great.